George Washington and Freemasonry, Extended Series. George Washington has become almost mythic in American memory. The general who held the revolution together, the president who defined the office, and the figure whose character seemed carved out of stone. But behind the legend was a man shaped by influences both public and private. One of the most meaningful, and often overlooked, was Freemasonry. Washington entered Masonry young, just 20 years old, when he was initiated in the lodge at Fredericksburg, Virginia, in 1752. At that point in his life, he wasn't a national icon or a military leader. He was a young Virginian, still finding his direction. Masonry provided structure and a code of personal discipline that aligned with his reserved nature. He received his 3 degrees in quick succession, initiated on November 4, 1752, passed on March 3, 1753, and finally raised as a Master Mason on August 4, 1753. Those entries, recorded in the lodge's original minute book, marked the beginning of a Masonic connection that would last the rest of his life. In the decades that followed, Washington's involvement was steady and documented. He visited lodges up and down the Virginia region, including attending a meeting of his home lodge in 1768. He maintained Masonic correspondence, acknowledging invitations, offering encouragement, and supporting the growth of new lodges. These letters, many preserved in the Washington papers, show a man who regarded the craft with sincere respect, even when his responsibilities limited his personal attendance. As the American Revolution began, Washington's relationship with Freemasonry did not disappear. It simply shifted into different forms. In 1778, he was formally received by American Union Lodge, one of the prominent military lodges of the era. Their minutes document his presence, noting it with the formality and reverence expected when hosting the commander-in-chief. Throughout the war, Washington also received Masonic delegations, responded to formal greetings from lodges, and maintained correspondence with Masons in America and abroad. His support was quieter than ceremonial, but it was unquestionably active. After independence, Washington's Masonic journey reached a significant milestone. In 1788, he was elected charter master of the newly created Alexandria Lodge No. 22. Few American lodges can claim that their founding master was the future first president of the United States. His election wasn't symbolic. He accepted the role, signed the charter, and remains listed as master in that first year's records. Then came one of the most historically significant Masonic moments of his life. On September 18, 1793, Washington laid the cornerstone of the United States Capitol in a full Masonic ceremony. He wore the apron gifted to him by the Marquis de Lafayette, carried the working tools, and participated in a ritual that newspapers across the young nation described in detail. The cornerstone was placed with corn, wine, and oil, unmistakably Masonic symbols, making it one of the earliest public examples of American Freemasonry at a national level. During his presidency, Washington corresponded with lodges from every region of the country. His replies consistently praised Masonry's dedication to morality, education, and civic virtue. He emphasized that the principles of the craft, moderation, integrity, and harmony, were essential for citizens of a free republic. These letters reveal not just a supporter of Freemasonry, but a man who saw its values aligning closely with the needs of a developing nation. When Washington died in 1799, his home lodge in Alexandria conducted the Masonic portion of his funeral. The procession included members of the lodge, local military companies, clergy, and citizens. The ceremony was recorded in newspapers, and it reaffirmed how deeply the Masonic community regarded him, not as a political figure, but as a brother whose life had reflected the virtues of the craft. Today, Washington's connection to the craft is honored in Alexandria at the George Washington Masonic National Memorial. Built by Masons from across the nation, the memorial stands as a tribute to his character and the role Freemasonry played in his life. Inside, a recreated lodge room reflects the era in which he served as master, preserving the memory of Washington not as a distant icon, but as a brother committed to the virtues he practiced. George Washington's Masonic story is not dramatic or embellished. It's steady, consistent, and thoroughly documented. Masonry didn't define him, but it influenced him, shaping the values he carried into command, into the presidency, and into the example he left for the nation. In the end, Washington's connection to the craft stands as one of the clearest historical portraits of an American leader who embraced Masonry, not for status, but for the principles it taught and the discipline it encouraged.